And so tell me a little bit more about maybe some of the progression or some of the things you've seen change over time when you were at Brunswick. I know you guys tracked a lot of stuff. You've seen a lot change there.
Yeah, when I first started, I mean, it was like 1988, I think. And, it was mostly league bowling, like you've probably heard before. You were 70% league bowling. And then as we, went further, and I went into 2 different jobs inside of Brunswick, managed a couple bowling centers, opened a new one, and then opened a brand new family entertainment center in Edmonton, Canada called Reds, which was 100,000 square feet. And that was Brunswick's first foray into family entertainment. The bowling, the games, the bar, the billiards, entertainment. And, back then, Brunswick saw that, every year league bowling was declining. And so we knew we had to try to do something different. And so you saw the progression of, going from 70% league. Now a lot of centers are less than, 40, 30% league. And so the question was, coming marketing, what do you do? How do you combat league bowling going down and, trying to get open bowling higher? And so it became a different business to run, and we figured out at Brunswick back in, like when I was there in 2003 and 4, about comparing, I think I talked about this, comparing bowling lanes to seats on an airplane.
Right. Yeah, we did talk about that a little bit, but yeah, go ahead.
Same fixed costs. You're flying from Los Angeles to New York City, and you got 200 seats, and the costs are fixed. You have your payroll costs, your fuel costs. And so if you only sell 100 of those seats and you've got 2 weeks to go, what do?
Right.
You discount.
You discount.
Right. And so we looked at bowling lanes the same way, except we used it in day parts. Okay. We said, you have the slowest day part, which is, Monday through Friday from 9 until noon. And then the afternoon day part, which is maybe a little busier. And then the busiest time was Friday at 5 until Sunday at 5 o'clock. So you would never discount from Friday at 5 p.m. to Sunday at 5 p.m.
Right.
But then you look at opportunities during the middle of the week when nobody's in your bowling center to say, what can you do to drive traffic? And sometimes you do specials like $1 or family packages or different things like that. And I don't think you're devaluing the game, but I think you're just trying to fill space where you didn't have anything there anyway.
Right.
And an empty lane is like, it's a marketing, what do you call it? It's something that it's gone, meaning it wasn't used during those 3 hours. You've lost that opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. And that's kind of, go ahead.
It's, like you said, it's just an opportunity of an hour that's gone for it. And you're not devaluing it. You're just saying that there's less demand during this time period.
Right. It's all based on supply and demand.
Right.
Okay. And I said back in, 2002 or 3, I was in an MBA class, economics class, and we had to do a project, and I did the project. We went back to 1970 and looked at the number of bowling centers in the United States, and the average price per game back then was 50 cents, being the average price in a bowling center, meaning that lot prices might have been higher and some lower. And bowling centers are doing about 11,500 games paid per lane. And then we went and looked up to 2002, and the average price went from 50 cents to $2.60, but the number of games per lane went down to 8,000.
Right.
And so we said, well, we keep raising the price, and people keep using our centers a little less and less.
Right.
And so that's kind of like the economic picture that we looked at to figure out, how do we do specials or do values or family values when we're not that big, and still maintain a healthy price point when we're really busy, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's kind of like an economic way of looking at your business.
Right. And so you're saying, so that the total value was flat. It was just the one side was going up the side just as much.
Correct. So. Right. Your price increases masked the less number of games being bowled in the center. Okay. And so that's what happened. Price went up, number of games went down, but you still did just as well. Okay. And what you want to try to do is try to get more people in, at a price point where the price is actually staying flat or going up. Okay. And that's just something that,
Mhm.
you know, either you get more customers, you get better pricing, okay, or you drive more business. And I think, what are the 3 ways to drive business that you told me?
Well, the
3
first is
ways.
the average ticket is the
Yep.
first. The second
Yep.
is the frequency that they come in per year. And then the
Right.
third is just new bodies in the door. Those are really the only
Right.
3 ways that I've found. You know, if there's
Right.
more, someone tell, but that's it that I found.
And I remember a funny story. We ran, there was a special that we ran at some of the Brunswick centers, and it was like 2002. It was called Buck and Bowl. And it was like 9 o'clock on a weekday. Okay. It was dollar games, dollar shoes, dollar 12-ounce soft drinks, dollar draft beer. And we had some centers that were like full. They had waiting lists everywhere. And so you saw this. And so we rolled it out nationwide. And after about 8 weeks, some centers decided, well, you know, I can go to $1.25 and change the concept from $1 to $1.25. And all of a sudden they only had, instead of 40 lanes full, they only had 30 lanes. And it showed the price sensitivity of the special.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was very interesting that the smart guys that were full all the time just picked another night and did it at 9 o'clock on a Monday night at the same price, instead of raising the price to see if they could get more. And that just shows the price sensitivity of open bowlers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll pay
That's a
$1,
good point.
but they won't pay $1.50 or $1.25.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and it was kind of pretty amazing to us, actually, that that happened. But it shows that,
Yeah.
well, you know, we kind of learned that you know, people will pay different prices to bowl at different times. You know, and that's something else you have to look at. There's different categories of open bowlers. Some people don't care what they pay.
Right.
Okay. Some people just pay whatever the price is on the board. Some people will only come in if there's a special. Okay. And so you almost try to categorize the groups of open bowlers as to you know, as to how you market your business, which is quite a different way of looking at things.
Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 5 of them a week. Subscribe to get more and to keep learning about what's working in the bowling industry. I'll talk to you then.